Hey guys, you're playing Palana Foods up against Hayley. It's kind of a scary hand, isn't it? I mean, we could put launch, could put Kaminu out. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. Could go really well depending on what our first few draws are. Okay, I think I'd rather put the Agura in front. Would I? Well, I don't know. This Kaminu is actually probably pretty good against Shaper if there's no Parasite. If they're playing like Claude or David or some other shenanigans, they may just not have anything relevant that breaks this. Maybe they're breaking with Chameleons or something, or Mimic. Either way, we're happy. So this might actually be a good base for remote. Okay, so he's got Pawn Shop, Harbinger stuff. A little bit in the dirtily side, so we'll have time to... Oh, nice. Protect our servers. Put that in R&D. Where does this crit go? Probably there's no archives pressure that we care about, so we'll put it on HQ first. I'm pretty happy to have Crick on nearly any server, really. I mean, if they have Cyber Cypher, they have to put one down on this server to break this. If they don't, then $2 for Gordian for 1 res is totally fine. Okay, it's Chameleons, so this will be a pain for them to deal with. Keep drawing. Don't want to discard any of these cards, so I'm just going to play both monies out. And next turn we can play the Caprice. I prefer to score anything but this first. You usually don't want to score this as the first agenda because there's no protection effect for later. But we might have to depending what's happening over here. There's the Chameleon. Is he going to poke around or is he going to just toast it for $1? Yeah, okay. So he is going to run, and this is a sentry. All right, let's see what he's got for this Agura. Does this fire? When one Chameleon won't do, get a second Chameleon. Makes sense. I will use a Snare on last click. Thank you very much. Gets these Shapers all the time. They want to get the most efficient play or they run at the end of the turn. And then pow. So goodbye to Aesop. Goodbye to Tech Writer. Set up our Caprice in the server. And we'll have the option to gift next turn, or do whatever our next card is. Probably I'll gift. Show everything. We can fast track for Anissa if we want to score that first. Behind the Kaminu. Might be okay. So let's see how we can overcome this snare hit. That snare hit was solid. And Palana is the best idea for it because you've got the money to pay for. A lot of other decks are like not that comfortable paying for at any given time. But it's good for this. Really? Well, okay. We will in fact res. So we'll need to give next turn, boost our money back up. So we're gonna get to fire one of our nets and maybe kill a Chameleon. No, we hit an RDI. Very happy about that. Now this is automatic. We'll just bid 1 to keep our Caprice alive. And let's show everything. know what I want to do here. Do I want to... I think we'll just credit. There's a good chance we'll draw ice next and we can reinforce our scoring remote. He's actually not going anywhere on 0 credits, and his ace-ops is gone. Yeah, let's just jam this before anything happens that he can fight us with. I don't think we even need... He could dump his entire hand, take a credit or two, and try to play side with us. But then he's losing his Chameleons into the bin, and that's seems pretty bad. On the other hand, it's pretty high variance. Like, if he actually wins this side and dumps his entire hand, he's in decent shape. We could also have waited a turn and put the Eli here, but then he might have found something helpful. No, he's just gonna play it safe. I think that's fine. There's a Nisei, so we don't need our fast track yet. Definitely want this Eli. We might want the fast track at the end to find the last agenda. Weird as it is, I think we discard Caprice here. We have an interns, if needed, to find it again. So if you think your meta is not going to have a ton of Parasite, by all means play Kamainu. Or Hunting Grounds, I guess, is another thing that could be annoying for this. There's not many Parasites or Hunting Grounds, yeah. And even Parasite is not that bad if they slam into it and they lose 4 or 5 cards, and then they Parasite to death. That's a trade you can make as Palana without being too fussed. So we're feeling pretty good about this push. He's still got no money. Losing his ace-op put him so far back. Now he can't even sell this cash right now. He must have more pawn shop later. But I think it might just be too slow because we don't need to stop for money. We're just going to slam agendas. And that's really what makes this ID so good. You can score, and scoring is really expensive. Like, so far every click you spend advancing a card is costing you $1 as opposed to getting $1. So you can think of it as really costing you $2 per advancement in the upper right. So this is like an $8 investment. This is like a $10 investment. So he's kind of building his bank up again, but I don't think it's fast enough. Nice, and this is where the fast track is absolutely key. Whoops, wrong card. Misclicked. Wrong one. The pictures looked slightly similar. A lot of runners have just really strong late games. So I think fast track is well placed right now when it comes to not letting it get to the late game. You can't wait to draw agendas because sometimes they just won't come. They'll be all on the bottom. And if you don't have a fast track in your deck, you're going to just sit around and lose. Especially against noise. If your points are on the bottom against noise, it's just really sad. And this applies even more when you have lower agenda counts. Like if you're playing 8, 9 agendas, it's a different story than when you're playing 12. When you have 12, you can find one pretty easily. When it's 8 or 9, there's a better chance that they're hiding all away from you. Yeah, the ace-ups comes now, but it's just way too late to the party. And we get the score out. So there you have it. Thanks for watching, guys. I really like playing Snare again. Resources are everywhere on the runner side, and if a lot of people will run late in the turn and just get blown out by it and lose their wild side, lose their whatever they need. Yeah, that hit was solid. Thanks for watching, guys.